Hello technology students, this is Mr. Walter and this is a how-to. This how-to is how to measure to the nearest 1/16th of an inch, and you notice I had to write 1/16th of an inch and then I had to finish the quote, so that was kind of weird. That was the first time I ever had to do that. How to measure to the nearest 16th of an inch, okay? And what we are doing is learning how to use a ruler, and you may have different types of rulers. You may be using a drafting scale like this, or let's see, just a moment. You could be working with sort of a standard ruler, right, like that or like this. So we're learning how to measure to a 16th of an inch. We could be working with a tape measure. That works. Might be a yardstick. Any standard measuring device, and we're talking about learning how to measure to the closest 16th of an inch. Okay, so we're measuring to the nearest 16th of an inch. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to see, hopefully you can see, let this camera adjust its light. This is a ruler, okay, and I'm looking at it up close. Normally, obviously, it would be 12 inches long. I put a piece of paper behind it so that you could see, but normally that's 12 inches long. So this is a regular ruler, and what I'm looking at is the space here between the 0 mark and the 1 inch. Now, this particular ruler, this clear one from Geyer, has divisions to a 32nd of an inch. Okay, so that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about measuring to the nearest 16th. And so the first thing you want to be able to do is identify the divisions on the ruler. So if I begin at 0 and I start to count, okay, along the ruler, there's a 16th, that's 1/16th, 2/16ths, 3/16ths, 4/16ths, 5, 6, 7, 8/16ths. So we're at 8/16ths, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We get to 16/16ths. Okay? And this, like I said, is divided into 30-seconds. Those tiny, tiny little divisions are 30-seconds of an inch. When we get up here between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, it's a lot easier to read this. You can see there's, if this was our 0 mark, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 divisions. So the reason it's called a 16th of an inch is because it's 1/16th, right, of that whole part, which is 1 inch. 1/16th of an inch. And there are 16 sixteenths in there. Now, of course, we don't always call it the same name that I called it. So as we walk along here, anytime the numerator is a odd number, we leave it just as it is. But if it's an even number, then we will reduce it down, right, to its more reduced form. So a reduced fraction. So here we go. Here's 1/16th, right? But there's 2/16ths. Since 2/16ths that's an even number, 2, we reduce that. That is actually 1/8 of an inch. So if we count, you can see the eighths. There's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8. All right. So if you look at the divisions, there are 2/16ths in 1/8 of an inch. That also occurs when we talk about 1/4 of an inch, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 4/16ths is equal to 1/4. There's 1/2. 1/2 of an inch is equal to 8/16ths. And remember, I'm using this division between 2 and 3 because that's easier to see and look at. There are 30-second divisions in here. Okay, So just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of looking at a regular ruler. Let's switch over to a worksheet now. Okay, so here's a worksheet, and I'll be using Cami to edit this. I don't think it's going to be particularly super neat, but I think you'll be able to get it. So what I've done is I've enlarged just 1 single inch. So what you're looking at here is the space between 0 and 1, or you could think of it as between 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, but we're just looking at 1 inch here. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in even closer so that we can see. Right, there are, if this was 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 16 divisions. Okay, and if I annotate that with Cami, hopefully this is going to work. And I go to a drawing. I'll use some red. I think size 2 will work. Okay. And maybe I make that go away. So that is 0 inches. And I'm not going to use the inch symbol very much. I just want you to understand. And this is 1 inch up here. Okay, and if I divide that in two parts, 1/2 and 2/2, that makes it easy to see that this is 1/2 of an inch. And that's the last I'm going to use of the inch symbols. I can think of it as being divided into fourths. There's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Well, 2/4 is equal to 1/2, right? 2/4 is equal to 1/2, right? That's 2/4 of an inch. 1/4, 2/4. So there's 1/4. Remember I said about numerators, they are only odd numbers, otherwise you can reduce it down. By the way, when you check to see if it's equal, you know the test for equality here with a fraction. 2 times 2, you cross multiply. 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 1 is 4. Okay, so that means those two fractions are equivalent to each other. This one, of course, 1, 2, 3, this is 3/4 of an inch. Hopefully this is a little bit of a review for you. Okay, now let's divide the inch into eighths. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8. So I only need to draw in the ones that are the odd numbers, right? There's 1/8, and oh boy, this is not very neat. 3/8. 5/8 is equal to 1/2. I'm sorry, 4/8 is equal to 1/2. 6/8 is equal to 3/4. Here's 7/8. Okay, and 8/8 is equal to 1. And then, of course, the last step is to count up by 16ths. This will be the hardest for me because my hand's getting tired of trying to draw these. There's 1/16. 2/16 equals 1/8. There's 3/16. Boy, that looks really bad. 4/16 equals 1/4. There's, oh boy, where's my undo? There is 5/16. 6/16 is equal to 3/8. There's 7/16. 8/16 equals 1/2. 9. Do you see the pattern here? Hopefully you see the pattern. Look at how I'm counting by odd numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, So that's going to be 11. That'll be 13. And there's 15. I'm not going to draw the rest of that, okay? Well, I guess I should, because if I save this, you'll be able to see it. That's 13/16 and 15/16. I'll try to get a neater copy of this up for you to look at. Okay, so we did that, and that's a review. Hopefully you can see. Now, further on down, obviously things are getting smaller, so when you go to read your ruler, you're going to have to be able to read these fractions in a much smaller size, okay? But nothing really changes. Here's a ruler that is even much smaller, but the same thing still happens. So here we have 0, 1/16, 1/8, 3/16, 1/4, 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2. Okay, I'm just working my way across the same thing that you see up here. 9/16, 5/8, 11/16, 3/4, 13/16, 7/8, 15/16, and 1. So we just worked across the ruler and there. So that's what you're going to need to be able to do when you do the measuring worksheet that will be going along with this assignment. Okay? I'm going to post this so that you can see it in whatever assignment you have for measurement. I'm going to clean it up with the fractions, but hopefully that serves as a review of how to measure to a 16th. I'll also post a YouTube video about it as well, so you can see another approach from it online. Okay, good luck to you in the measurement work.